Hey everybody, what's going on? Brent here, and this is a story that I couldn't help but laugh when I first read it, and it's one of those things that it's one of those stories that as you're reading it, you can't help but want to scream at your phone, tablet, computer, whatever it is you're reading this on, about how obvious it is. So. And of course, we're talking about Sony, and we're talking about one of their biggest flops in the last couple years. So let me go ahead and show you guys what we're talking about here. Now, this is an article that I found on GameSpot, and it was written by Blair Marnell, August 25th, which is also the same day I'm recording this. So I'm sorry, it's the title. It gets me every time. Concord's failure led to increased oversight, says Sony exec. Sony's Herman Hulst argues that Concord's dismal reception proves that games need to be tested more frequently in development. No, it does not. No. The last thing we need is just more people putting their 2 cents in on every little thing. If you want games to be successful, just go back to what they used to do. Go back to I want to say PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 era. That was like almost peak gaming in my opinion. And I played a little bit of the Xbox. I've always been more of a Sony person, but that seems to be that seems to be falling to the side there. But I digress. You guys are here for this story. Let's talk about this. So the article starts, in 2024, Sony shut down its live service shooter Concord after only 2 weeks, as it became one of the publisher's most prominent failures. According to Sony Interactive Entertainment Chief Executive of Studio Business Herman Hulst, the biggest lesson from Concord was that more oversight is needed during the development process, and I cannot stress this enough. No, we do not need more oversight from people. Just look back in the catalog. We had great games before. If all of your playable characters look like they spend way too much time on Reddit, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, and Blue Sky, chances are game's not going to do that great. That's just, the stats are out there to show that. But anyways, moving on. We have since put in place much more rigorous and more frequent testing in very many different ways, Hearst told Financial Times. The advantage of every failure is that people now understand how necessary that oversight is. No, and I cannot say this enough, no. Hulst went on to explain that he wants Sony PlayStation Studios to make big swings when conceiving future franchises. However, he would also like to catch the failures before they launch. How do you plan on doing that then? How do you plan on catching the failures before they launch? It cannot be, just go back. As I've said before, just go back. Games, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 era, great games. He says, I don't want teams to always play it safe, but I would like for us, when we fail, to fail early and cheaply. Following Concord's demise, Sony subsequently recommitted to live service titles. Why? There are already far too many live service titles. Games that have been out for a while, they were a little cheaper. They've already established they got their player base. Regarding future titles in that genre, Hearst downplayed the importance of how many live service games are available and said, "What is important to me is having a diverse set of player experiences and a set of communities." What is important to me is having a diverse set of player experiences and a set of community. So you just reworded the modern audience that they've been hounding about for how long? But it hasn't panned out, has it? Where is this modern audience that you're making games for? They're not there. Unfortunately, guys like me in my age range, mid to late 30s. I want to say it's what, mid 20s to early 40s. That's most of the gamers. It's us. Look here, it's us. They keep going on about this modern audience that they're making games for. They don't exist. As I've said, they're on Twitter, they're on Reddit, they're on Blue Sky, bitching and moaning about everything. They're not buying your games. That's why these games have been failing. One of Sony's next live service launches is slated to be Marathon. This game's already dead out of the water. The new game by Bungie. That title has already drawn unfavorable comparisons to Concord, and it was delayed indefinitely in June. Since then, reports have emerged that Bungie is losing its independence to PlayStation Studios. Last week, Bungie's longtime boss, Pete Parsons, announced his departure from the company after 2 decades. Marathon is expected to be released before the end of Sony's fiscal year, which runs through March 31st of next year. So what? Did they just take the whole Concord staff and put them on Marathon? So this is going to be another game that's going to be multi-$100 million into development. It's going to flop. And then Sony's just going to pass it off to the people who buy their consoles and their accessories. And you know what? People who are probably still buying the fucking collector's editions that don't even come with physical copies of the games. This is stupid and it's ridiculous. Pete Parsons, 2 decades at the company, and he's gone. Now, I'm going to look into this. I have not seen these reports that Bungie is being taken over by PlayStation Studios. They're just absorbing them, which everyone pretty much knew was going to happen once it was announced that Sony was buying Bungie, or they were working it. However that deal was put together, I don't remember. I remember talking about it. It was a while ago, but this is just what turned into funny is now becoming aggravating because video games have been my life. If you look behind me, I've got stacks of games. I've got shelves full of collector's editions. I've got enough games in my backlog to keep me busy for years to come. And it's something that I love has just gone downhill and it's become shit. And then, you know what? I can't even really say I'm all that much bothered by the live service stuff because I don't really play it anyways. So yeah, I'm done with my rant on this. I'm going to go jump on my backlog here and I don't know, maybe find something else to complain about tomorrow. So if you've made it this long, thank you very much. Please drop us a like, subscribe, share. And if you find my whining annoying, you can go ahead and hit the thumbs down as well. But thank you very much for watching till the end here, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.